sisters in uniform. Those young children on the streets are not your enemies. The enemy is the one shipping you to Haiti. Despite the position of the people of Kenya that we do not support the deployment of police to Haiti, he is shipping off our police officers. And to add insult to injury, he's only paying them a fifth of what they were supposed to be paid on that particular mission. We are being told our police officers have been paid only 20,000 shillings to go to Haiti. Yet William Ruto was given $100 million by the US government for this particular mission. He's eating 80% of that money and sending you off to face those people in Haiti. And it is against the wishes of the people of Kenya. So I want our police officers to know that the public is not your enemy. We are fighting on the same side. Even here in Parliament, members of the police officers who work here were supposed to be added money, 20,000 shillings in addition to the allowances they receive here. Their boss came here and told them that they told the leadership of Parliament that if police officers working here are added money to their salaries at Wataribu Kazi, and yet these people are working for the Republic of Kenya. The bosses in the police force plus Ruto are the enemy, not the young people in the streets there. So please, stop brutalizing these young people. We are on the same side. In fact, the police should be joining these young people to say Ruto must go. Number 3, the country is bigger than William Ruto. What you are seeing out there is a total repudiation of William Ruto and what he stands for. The entire country has needed at this particular moment in time, even withdrawal of that bill will not be enough. William Ruto resigned as president of the Republic of Kenya because you are down the lake, across the coast. Kenyans are saying you go because you have failed as a president of the Republic of Kenya. Lastly, we will protect the freedoms that were hard fought for in this country. We are out in the streets. We are being told there are plans to shut down the internet. We want them to know, whether in the light or in the darkness, all these people will fall, because the people of Kenya have said this is
thank you very much. I want to add my voice to what my colleagues have said. I want to begin by reminding President William Ruto that he does not own this country. Ruto only owns a clueless government. This country belongs to all of us. We are telling William Ruto to give us back our country. If he doesn't give us back our country, we'll take it from him. Because he cannot continue to maim members of the National Assembly from Azimio for withdrawing all the proposed amendments to the bill. Because Kenyans are very resolute on this matter. They are saying, reject, don't amend. That is the message. And what does it mean to reject? It means that this clueless government must go back to the drawing table, rework the bill, rework the budget, and as Azimio we have said that this government has budgeted a whole 1 trillion Kenya shillings for corruption. To move
session.
Dental skincare combines the trusted protection of Dettol with 2 times moisturizers to protect my skin from germs and keeps my skin soft with a beautiful fragrance. Beautiful skin is germ-free skin.
they will be vilified, they will be abused. But in years to come, when this country will look back and say this was the point that we said no to the slavery of debt and yes to self-sustainability and living within our means, those 204 members will be celebrated as heroes at that particular time.
Nimrod Tabu, Citizen TV.
Tonight we begin with what has been a day of drama for activists believed to be at the center lead and Anifa Aidan, who had presented themselves at DCI headquarters following reports that police were after them, were taken to Nairobi area to record statements only for them to be released unconditionally in a strange turn of events. The three who have vowed to take part in Tuesday's demonstrations, dubbed Occupy Parliament, have condemned government's move.
At 7 a.m. on Monday, DCI headquarters along Kiambu Road was a no-go zone. Faces kept watch as everyone who visited the offices was frisked. At hand were anti-riot police officers ready to deal with rioters. The enhanced security followed a communication that activists believed that there were persons of interest over the involvement in the demonstrations to reject the finance bill. At noon, the entourage made their first stop at Muthaiga bus stop, where up to 300 meters from the main entrance.
Was almost abducted on Friday, so we said instead of getting abducted in the streets, we are going to present ourselves to the police. We have broken any law, take us to court. But abduction and torture are illegal in this country.
Today we are presenting ourselves na pia kuuliza kwa nini unashika watu, and people are merely exercising their constitutional rights.
Abductions are unconstitutional. The police are supposed to comply with human rights and so forth.
Their presence here bringing to halt activities along the busy road. Police had to block both sides of the road as they escorted the three in the company of the former Chief Justice Willie Mutunga, Acting Executive Director, the Kenya section of the International Commission of Jurists. Members of press were also barred from the entrance and only allowed to stand 100 meters from the main gate. Activists who accompanied the team were kept at least 300 meters away, with the anti-riot police monitoring their movements. After about an hour, DCI cars moving at high speed whisked the three in the company of Mutunga to Nairobi Regional Police Headquarters. For close to 3 hours, they were held at Nairobi area, where they reportedly recorded statements before being released unconditionally.
The Law Society of Kenya, we are taking keen interest on the violation of human rights and fundamental freedoms. We have been collecting data, and we are proceeding to court to petition against specific officers, some whom have been taken on camera shooting people who have lost their lives in this protest. It is therefore
to not harm any
constituencies held protests at their constituency offices. Armed with banners and vuvuzelas, protesters camped at the offices of the MPs who supported the finance bill, terming them traitors and castigating them for failing to deliver on their campaign promises. From Narok, Nakuru, Mombasa to Kisii, they sang and danced as they directed their leaders to vote against the bill.
If you want to talk to us, let him reject the finance bill.
The demonstrators say they will join their fellow Kenyans in the mass protests planned for Tuesday to reject the finance bill, which they say, if passed, will make their lives unbearable.
The Glovo app, order anything you want. Glovo itakuletea in minutes.
East Africa, where protests are ongoing in the Kenyan capital, Nairobi. Medics there say several people have been shot dead by police. Earlier on, protesters broke through police cordons around the parliament and entered the building. Part of the site was then set on fire. There have been several days of demonstrations across the country. This is all against planned tax increases. The legislation to introduce that was being debated in Parliament today. Tear gas and water cannon was also used by security forces. One notable factor about these demonstrations is that they've been fueled by young people using social media. Rights groups say state agents have abducted 12 people believed to have played a role in promoting the protests online. Our correspondent Barbara Platt-Usher sent us this update a short time ago.
Police have deployed in very large numbers to try and stop the protesters from getting to Parliament. They have set up different intersections along this main avenue, Kenyatta Avenue, and they've been firing tear gas, colored dye. Protesters have been breaking through, running down the avenue. So it's been very chaotic and fluid from fairly early in the morning. This is, of course, a protest against the proposed taxes that government is trying to pass, something that the government wants to do to pay for its enormous deficit, something that this generation, Gen Z, have completely protested against. They organized on social media, took the government by surprise, and have been carrying out these demonstrations. Because of these demonstrations, the government has watered down the bill, but that's not enough for these protesters. They're demanding it be scrapped entirely. They're also talking about accountability, about corruption, and how their tax dollars are spent. While all this is going on, you can see the tear gas in the distance. The Parliament is meeting to debate the bill and are expected to pass it with amendments.
The State House. Now, these have been demonstrations that have been going on over the past few weeks as Parliament has been debating this bill. As you can see, a lot of the people out on the streets are young people. Now, this living is already bad. If the taxes are raised, then the protests are going on outside outside, and as I said, we have seen some tear gas being fired in the capital. The finance bill is still being debated in Speak as the protests are going on outside. Now, there are